Hey mom, today's experience showed me how powerful positive reinforcement can be when it comes to building real engagement. The moment students understood that a correct spelling earned a sticker, the entire classroom shifted. What had become a normal activity suddenly became something they genuinely wanted to participate in. They weren't approaching the board cautiously or waiting to see how their classmates performed. They volunteered quickly because the task now carried a sense of possibility rather than pressure. That shift removed the typical hesitation that sometimes comes with spelling activities, where students worry about making mistakes in front of others. Instead, they stepped forward knowing the focus was on celebrating success, not spotlighting errors. The activity took on a steady rhythm because their motivation stayed high, and the energy in the room felt lighter and more constructive simply because the incentive reframed their mindset. As the lesson unfolded, it became even clearer that the sticker itself wasn't the core motivator. Students weren't reacting to the physical item. They were reacting to the public acknowledgement that came with earning it. Walking back to their seat with a sticker in hand represented a small but meaningful moment of recognition. It wasn't about the material reward as much as it was about being seen and affirmed in front of their peers. Even students who hover on the margins of group activities stepped up with more confidence, not because the sticker changed anything about who they are, but because it offered a visible form of validation. The reinforcement made their effort worthwhile, and it reminded me that students don't need large incentives. They need moments where their contributions are noticed and valued. That kind of acknowledgement affects how they see themselves and how willing they are to try again the next time.
A-R-M. Class, is that how you spell arm? Yes! A-R-M. Korwa gets a sticker. Next.
The classroom dynamic also benefited from the positive reinforcement. Because students were motivated to earn their turn, their focus stayed anchored to the activity without needing constant reminders. They listened more closely to each spelling prompt, followed along with the pace of the game, and respected the flow of turns because they didn't want to miss their opportunity. This naturally reduced the need for redirection and made transition smoother, not by enforcing strict control, but by aligning their internal motivation with the structure of the lesson. When students are invested, the environment becomes easier to manage and the lesson feels more cohesive. What stood out was how little additional effort it took. Once the positive reinforcement was in place, the class maintained its own momentum. That ease reinforced how much classroom management improves when engagement comes from within the students rather than from constant teacher intervention. Looking at the broader arc of the day, the experience reaffirmed that positive reinforcement works best when it centers recognition and highlights growth. The stickers functioned as a bridge, linking the students' attempt to a moment of validation that they could carry with them. It transformed a simple spelling activity into something that felt more meaningful because it gave students a reason to see their own progress. By focusing on what they were doing well instead of what needed correction, the lesson created an atmosphere where students felt encouraged to step forward, take risks, and see themselves as active participants in their learning. I ate some canned crack with the koi fish, and that was it for my day. Okay, love you. Bye.